What's up, y'all, and welcome back to Vlogmas Day 2. Today I'm coming to y'all with my November reading wrap up. So this month has been a very slow month reading wise. I have not read that much. Sorry for the childish background, the dollhouse and the unicorn thing. This is my sister's room, but yeah, anyways. Sorry, this month I just haven't read that much. I think I read maybe 20 books, maybe a little bit over 20 books. 4 series. Yeah, 4 series. One is with just duology, so I haven't really read that much, but I read some good things. So this month I decided to do something different and write down every single book I read with the rating, so that I can easily just like let y'all know how it is. So, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I really enjoy writing them down and make myself remember. So yeah, let's just get started with this wrap up. So first thing I read this month was a series. It was the Rich Boys of Burberry Prep series, and started off with 50 Rich Boys. This series is by C.M. Stunch. Really enjoy her writing. Really. Okay, this is a reverse harem series. I don't know why I can think of that. This is a reverse harem series about our main character Marty, who moves to this very private school. Well, not move, but she gets into this private school with a bunch of rich people. She is called the charity case as soon as she walks in. Tristan is the main mean dude. It is a bully romance. Tristan is the main character who's like mean, and then he has his friend Zad and Creed. Zad is a band person, so he's in like his own little band. Creed is the twin brother of a girl that she actually meets in love, who is actually gay, so that her being gay comes out in either book 2 or book 3. And she actually falls for Marnie as well. Marnie has them 3, and then she has an ex who is Zach, who also embarrassed her old high school or in middle school or whatever. And then she has Windsor, who is a transfer student and came in book 3. So she has 5 love. She has 5 love interests, and they never have like a off at one time relationship until like literally like the end of book 4, which is like in the epilogue or something, where she like sleeps with, she's like in the bed with all of them. They all like, you know, engage in sexual activity together. That's like the only time, but other than that they really don't do much. It's basically about a bet that they had. So 50 Rich Boys, the first book, it's about them becoming her friends, stop bullying her, and then she realized at the end of the book that it was all a bet and they want her to leave the school. And then you have Bad Blue Bloods, which is about year 2, and she just getting revenge on all the boys. She doesn't trust them. She's making them fall for her, and at the end they do fall for her, and she realizes she want to be in a relationship with all of them. Book 3 is about them. It's just a fluffy book, like it's all fluff. It's about them building on their relationship, trying to see do they really want to be with each other, and they also all getting revenge on the rest of the school. And then senior year, in the arms of the elite, she realized she want to be with all 5 of them. She can't decide. She can't pick, even though she's forced to in order to like not be on the bad side. It's also like it's like a rich people thing where they all in one like secret society to ruin everyone else that's broke. So they had this pact to kill her, and all 5 of the boys are in this secret society, and of course they don't want her dead, so they're trying to protect her. But this is one mean girl that wants to get her so bad, so they try to take her down, mainly in book 4. And yeah, it was pretty good. I gave the first book 3 stars, second book 4, third book 4, and the last book 3 stars. So it was pretty average read for me. But after that I read a couple of standalones. So I read The Problem with Forever by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and it's by Mallory Mallory, and she doesn't talk, and about Ryder. And they basically grew up together and built on their relationship together. It was really cute, really nice read. I love Jennifer Armentrout, but think about her, she got a lot of fantasy books that I'm not into fantasy. Maybe I get into fantasy next year. We'll see. I have a lot of my TBR. But yeah, Mallory didn't talk. She went through something traumatic which caused her not to talk. Definitely going in this blind, because I went into this blind, and five-star book. Is really freaking good. Then I read Trouble by Rizzy Adams. I love Rizzy Adams. This is about a poly relationship. This is about a poly relationship between Nevaeh, Sadie, and Hendrix. Nevaeh and Hendrix are married, but they have like a open relationship. So it's a declared open relationship. They know they're in an open relationship, and both of them meet Sadie. So Sadie was on a date trying to find somebody. Sadie is bisexual. Nevaeh is bisexual. She knew she was bisexual when she got married, whatever. So both of them, all three of them, was going on dates, Hendrix and Nevaeh was trying to find somebody to go along with their relationship, and Sadie was just trying to find her a relationship. So Nevaeh and Sadie bumped to each other in the street after Sadie were on this terrible day, and they bumped to each other, have coffee. They realized both of their careers coincide, so they tried to connect them. So they made a business adventure. And then Hendrix finds Sadie on a dating app and asks her on a date. And then they always tell them that they're in a open relationship and married beforehand. So Sadie was like, I gotta meet your wife, and she meets him and realizes that it's Nevaeh, and he goes from there. A lot of sexual chemistry, okay? And I did give Trouble 5 out of 5 stars. It was very sexy. A lot of sex, but it was really good. So that's Trouble. After that, I did read a triology by Carla Sorensen. It's football, right? Yes. A football triology, I think. Yeah. And it's about it's all intertwined. So it starts with the bombshell effect with Luke, who is single, and he's a single father. And then he meets Allie, who is the new owner of the football team that he plays for. So they realized they live beside each other, and his daughter saw her first, and the daughter was just like, I want to go meet her, whatever. So Allie came over, trying to introduce herself. He was just like, no, you're just some girl who wants me for my money, whatever. He had a bad experience with the baby's mother, so he just did not trust her. So yeah, they met at the facility, and basically was just like, oh. So they had to step each other's side and basically be like, okay, no weird feelings, nothing bad. But then they realized they really freaking like each other and should be together. So yeah, really nice, really cute. Luke was hard-headed and mean, but we love him anyways. And I did give this a 4 out of 5 stars. Then we have the xfit, which is about Matthew and Ava. So Matthew was a football player for a different like team, and then he had to retire because he just went through it with like injuries and stuff. And Ava is the PR person for the team that Allie owns. So they knew each other from the past. Ava's sister actually dated Matthew back when they were in high school, but she broke up with him, left in bad times. But Ava always liked Matthew. Loki always liked Ava, but he thought that she was just a little sister or whatever. They reconnect, coincide, and it was really nice. There was a lot of issues with players interfering with their relationship, but it wasn't like terribly like bored. It was really nice, really well written, and I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars as well. No. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. I'm just saying 4 out of 5 does not sound right. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. It was really nice. I love Matthew, love Ava, I love how that relationship came about, love everything about it. Last we have The Marriage Effect, and The Marriage Effect is by Allie's best friend. Allie's best friend and another football player, Logan, who is on the team, but he does not like talking to people. He is actually the person that interfered with the relationship in the second book. So I'm not gonna get too many spoilers, but yeah, he is the person. He actually has 3 sisters that live with him, and they're all like varying ages. No, 4 sisters. It's a set of twins, the oldest, the middle, and the set of twins. So he had all them sisters. Nobody on the team knew he had sisters, and he tried to keep it a secret as long as possible. But they got into this fake marriage in order to. She wanted to get her inheritance from her aunt who passed, and he wanted his brother to get off his back because his brother was like, either give me the kids or get married, and the brother did not deserve the kids. So yeah, this is really nice. I did not like how slow the rush was. I didn't like how grumpy he was, because he was very, very grumpy, very mean. So I did give this a 4 out of 5 stars. But besides that, it wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible. It's just he was very, really mean. So yeah. After that, I read a bunch of standalones. So we're gonna start with the mystery / thriller that I read, which was Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. This is about a mother who lost her child. She never knew what happened to her child. She had other kids, but she was just like, okay, yeah. She had another daughter, another son, but all she cared about was her one daughter, because she was like, that's my daughter. Like, that's her favorite. She had a favorite kid. The favorite kid was the one who went missing. 20 years later, she gets in a relationship finally after getting divorced from her husband, because again, he couldn't deal with the grief that she kept going through. So she met this guy, and turns out the guy is connected to the death, but not in the way that y'all might think. So yeah, the mystery thriller part of it, really nice, but it wasn't like intense. I think I gave this like a 3 stars. I gave it a 4 stars. I didn't give it a 4. But yeah, it wasn't like at your face like, oh, what's gonna happen next? Because you kind of figure out what happens in like the first 35%. You already know what happened. You already know what went on and who did it. But if you want to read to the end, do that. Anyways, Misadventures of a Backup Bride. It's about Carson and Ella. Carson is just recently got his father's company, but in order to get it, he has to marry this man of another company's daughter, because the man has to put money into the company for the company to stay afloat. But he didn't want to marry the man's daughter because they had 0 connections, and they just didn't like each other. She was still a party girl. He was a grown man. So he hired someone to marry him, but they still had to go through a lot of trials and tribulations in order to get married, because the father of the bride of the other girl just didn't believe that they actually loved each other, actually wanted to be together. A whole lot of 4 out of 5 stars. It wasn't terrible, but it was nothing. It's nothing to rave about, but it definitely was a good fluff read. Like, you just want to get out of a reading slump, read this. And I definitely wasn't in a reading slump yet. I'll tell y'all when I got my reading slump, okay? Then I read Misbehave by Charlie Rose. Misbehave by Charlie Rose. This is about Remy, who lives with her dad and her stepbrother. His mom went crazy and left the stepbrother, so the stepbrother lived with them. Whatever. Stepbrother was an idiot. He was a drug dealer. He was a killer. He was a terrible person. And he always told Remy they was going to get married once she turned 18. He was going to have sex with her. He stalked her. Very, very hard read. But then you have Pearson, who was her teacher. She got into a new, like, elite school, and she met Pearson, who was a teacher, and basically they fell in love. But first he realized like she was going through it, she was getting hurt by the brother, and it also turned out that the brother is the reason that his sister died. A lot of connections about drug overdose. His sister died through drug overdose because she was dating Remy's brother at the time, who was a drug dealer and dealt her the drugs. So the teacher already didn't like him. Okay, but she got over it. Whatever. I did give this a 3 out of 5 stars. It was very blah. It's okay, but blah. So yeah, that's Misbehave. Then I read Little and Lion by Brandy Colbert. Very contemporary, but the main character she is bisexual. Really, she didn't know what she was. Could be pansexual, but she came home. She had got sent away to school because her brother, stepbrother, as you see, one's black, one's white. Her stepbrother got diagnosed with bipolar, so he was like lashing out, going crazy. She got stopped at school. She came back for the summer. He felt like he was off his medicine. He started going crazy again, and so he just did some wild stuff. But at the same time, she's trying to like figure out her sexuality. So she actually was having relations with a girl when she was off at school with her roommate, and the whole school found out, bullied them, whatever. So she haven't talked to the girl, but she decided to go back to the school to solve those problems. And her relationship with him was very up and down, but they finally figured it out. Contemporaries are not my thing. I say this over and over again, but then I read a description, I'm like, I'm like this, and I still end up thinking this blah, because contemporaries are just not my thing. 3 out of 5 stars. After that, I read another series. This was a baseball and football series, in which I loved. First, we have Hard Pass. Oh, this is the Trophy Boyfriend series, by the way, by Sarah Nay. Love her. Definitely read more of her series. But first, we have Hard Pass. Hard Pass is about Noah and Miranda. Noah is a very shy, insecure baseball player who doesn't think he deserves love. Miranda is this girl who's trying to build her own business, and in order to build her own business, she has to sell old baseball cards that she got from her granddaddy, who she used to go to baseball games with. So Miranda tries to sell these cards. She get in touch with Noah, who wants to buy him, and she's like, I'm gonna set the price high. He's like, there's no problem with me because he's a billionaire, he's a baseball player. Y'all know baseball players get paid, okay? So she did that, and they met. So they didn't really meet. Let's start there. They didn't meet. They were supposed to meet, but Noah sent his best friend, who he wasn't claiming as a best friend in this book, but he did in future books. Noah's best friend went instead, who was a womanizer, and she was just like, I don't want to trade any more cards with you because you're disgusting. And then Noah basically had to confess and be like, sorry, that was actually me. Whatever. I did get Hard Pass, a 4 out of 5 stars. Again, really good book, but wasn't just like crazy. Good. It was really blah, but it was really good. I love that relationship. Then we have Hard Fall, and Hard Fall is about Trace and Hollis. Trace is the best friend who I was talking about, and Hollis is the general manager of the baseball team's daughter. Hollis separates herself from the team. Her and her dad not get along. They don't pretend to get along. So that's a thing. But yeah. So they meet at the facility, and she was like, she didn't know which baseball player he was, whatever. And then they finally realized like they do have a lot in common. It's fake relationship developed into a real relationship, but it developed into a real relationship really, really late in the book. So I didn't appreciate that. But I did give it a 4 out of 5 stars. It wasn't terrible at all, but it just wasn't like I don't know. A lot of these books was blah. And this is when I started getting into my reading slump. I'm just like, they're just not wowing me the way they should be wowing me. They're very okay. So then we have Hard Love. Hard Love is about Trip, who is Tracy's brother, and Chandler, who is Hollis's cousin. They meet at Tracy's and Hollis' wedding. They see each other, bother each other, get on each other's nerves, and then they realized, and then she like flipped him on his back, so they do like a whole fake date thing for publicity. It's a lot of back and forth in their relationship. 3 out of 5 stars. It was just a lot of back and forth that I did not appreciate. She was very annoying. He wasn't lovey-dovey enough. But the neighbor girl that he has, love her. So shout out to the neighbor. Then we have Hard Luck. It's about Tracy and Tripp's sister, whose name was True, I think. I think her name was True. Yeah. About True. And then she got on the show with Maxio, who is also a baseball player for the same team that Noah and Trace play for. Also, Trip doesn't play baseball. He plays football for a professional team. So this was about pregnancy. True got pregnant by Maxio at Tracy's and Hollis's wedding. Again, at the wedding. She got pregnant by him, and she hid it from him. She hid it from everyone. And so then he tried to catch her with her. He really loved her. Love at first sight, but she blocked him on everything. So he didn't even know she was pregnant, let alone that. Like, he didn't know what was going on. But yeah, this is probably my favorite, maybe. And they get this. No, this was not my favorite. I gave this a 3 out of 5 stars. Okay, maybe not. But it was really nice. Okay, it just was. I wish you would have told people sooner. I don't know. I wanted more relationship development from them more than anything. So yeah, after that I read some more standalones, and I was really in the stump. So it took me a minute to get through some of these books, and it should not have. So 21 questions. It took me a minute to get through this, and look how short it is. It took me way too long to get through 21 questions, but it was really good. It's a lesbian romance. I did give it a 4 out of 5 stars. It's about Kenya and Simone. It's about Kenya and Simone. So Kenya is a over 40-year-old lady who knows what she wants in life, got her career set. And Simone is a young bartender who wants to dip into music. So Kenya did not want to be with Simone, but Kenya met Miranda first. I think the girl name was Miranda. Whatever. She met Miranda first, and Miranda caught her attention. Miranda's a millionaire. She owns the bar that Simone works at. And then she realized she was a cheater. And she realized Simone was really the one that she wanted, and the one that she already thought about. The way Simone got to her was through 21 questions. Really good novella. Like, it's really, really short. Really nice novella. It's not the reason I was in this reading slump at all. I was getting into one anyways. It's just, I don't know. But yeah, 4 out of 5 stars. Definitely a good book. Then I read Wilder Girls. The weirdest book of 2021 that I've read. This is the weirdest thing. It's not for everyone. Do y'all see the cover? That's literally how they look. It's about a bunch of girls, also lesbian stuff. I don't know how I get 2 lesbian boobs at the back. I don't know. But it's about these girls that live in the woods and had to quarantine because their skin was breaking off. They had 15 eyes on their eye. Their spine was breaking out their back, and you could see their spine when they walked. They had no food. The government was experimenting on them. I don't know what else to tell y'all. I gave it a 2 out of 5 stars because it was very freaking weird. Would not recommend this to anyone. I did not DNF it though. I finished it, but it was weird, and it took me a long time to finish this because it was weird. So that did not help my friend. Y'all see this book stack behind me? That did not help my reading slump. But you wanna know what got me out of my reading slump? A good Christina C. Jones book, okay? So this is a duology. I don't know, she probably coming out with more books in this series. This book literally just came out. So yeah, but first we have equivalent exchange, and then we have prior affair. So equivalent exchange was about Karis and Lakin. So Karis has an abusive ex. She was with him for 10 years, and she was just like, had to get up out of it after he punched her in the face. She can't have kids, all that good stuff. So, I mean, that's not good, but she can't have kids. So, she basically just had to escape him one day. So, she decided to escape him, went to a bar. She met the bartender. The bartender was like, come up to my room. One night stand type thing. She had a one night stand. Turns out the one night stand was with Lakey, who owns the bar. You got to be more careful, girl. Got to be more careful. Anyways, this was so freaking good. Their love, Lakin, the trials and tribulations they had to go through to get to the relationship is basically like we're meant to be. The sun and the stars and telling us that we're lined up to be, but it wasn't the sun and the stars. It's his dead brother. Yeah, you heard it right. His dead brother was the sun and star that was telling him in his dreams that Karis was the girl for him, and then Karis had got a dream from the brother also, and it was like, dang, he really for me. Really good book, okay? I love this. I loved every single thing about this book, okay? And that's all I gotta say. Night shift, I need a night shift here. I go to night shift every single night and have me a couple of shots, okay? Period. 5 out of 5 stars. And last but not least, I read Prior Affair. This is about Ellis and Haley, who are also connected, but they didn't know they was connected until the last chapter. And nobody, I didn't even know they was connected to the last chapter, because the way she built this book up, she was like, have we met before? And they both was like, have we met before? No, they never met me before, but his grandfather and her great grandmother, right? His grandfather, her great grandmother did meet before. And that's not a spoiler, I don't think. If it is, I'm sorry, but he's a firefighter. He saved her from a fire, and then they decided to have sex, and then they decided to never stop, and then it became a relationship, and then they realized that it was meant to be for real. I don't know, y'all. I don't know what else to tell y'all to make y'all go read this book. I don't know what else to tell y'all to make y'all go read Christina C. Jones, because baby, one thing about Christina C. Jones, she don't cut up in the story. I have not read one bad book by her. Both of those 5 out of 5 stars. Okay, period. Anyways, on that note, I gotta do a lot of editing to get this video up today for Vlogmas Day 2. My voice kept going out because if I talk too much, I get this little tickle and I have to cough. And I've been trying to swallow it the whole video. So I'm in here and I have nothing else to say. Like I said, not a good reading month, but I enjoyed it, okay? Yeah. Anyways, you made it all the way to the end of this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to your girl. And I'll see you on my next one. Bye.